Okay, going to be starting some of the upgrades to this auger system. Since this guy already did the impeller upgrade, which you can kind of see here, you should see those bolts in there. They're basically holding a piece of rubber, and what they're doing is the OEM impeller has about a 1/4 inch gap in between the side and the actual blade. So what that rubber does, I can't really see it very good, there's no light's kind of shitty, but basically the rubber is up against the housing, so it's taking up that little gap that's in between the impeller. And you might be able to see it a little bit better from up there. Yeah, you can kind of see it here a little bit better. Let's see if I can turn it for you. So yeah, so what you can see there is the little piece of rubber there probably extends, about a 1/4 inch off of the blade, off the metal blade. And all Buddy did on this one is he just drilled a hole through the blade and then bolted it. There's the back there. I think you can kind of see it, sort of. I did mine a little bit differently. I actually welded chunks of steel to that instead of doing the rubber. Rubber's better actually because you can get it super tight and then just let the machine wear the rubber into the housing. But once you do that, you won't have the gap I'm talking about is that one right there. Okay, so basically what you're doing is you're getting rid of the factory gap that's in there, and this thing will perform way better in wet snow, and also just in the ability for it to throw snow. It'll throw it way further as well, so highly recommend that upgrade. But today we're taking the augers off because these ones are in way better shape than mine, and I'm gonna be adding some teeth to them, so I'm gonna take those off today. Okay, got the drive system out of the snowblower. So what I'm going to be doing is putting rippers on the augers themselves, same as my other one. I've really found that helps with ice. Like I live right on a street where they plow, and I got a lot of like the ice chunks and stuff that they plow up. Bent these things 1,000 times on my other one, just because you get a nice chunk in there basically, and it just gets in there and stops it. It either snaps the shear bolt or it'll do something else, but basically, yeah, it's either gonna bend or it's gonna shear, one of the two. So by putting ripper teeth on, I found that's really increased the performance of the snowblower when it's in that condition. Now, as far as snow throwing and hucking, you'll notice down below, this is the impeller. So this is the piece that I showed you before that spins inside the housing. And you can see the rubber pieces that somebody's already installed. I'm actually going to extend these out and bring these out further. Make sure they're super tight to the housing. What'll happen is the housing will grind this down, and it'll make it the right tolerance in between those two. So basically what you're doing is we look at it from this side, you're extending the impeller blade by about that much, and that's basically left from the factory as a factory gap. The newer machines are actually worse. They can have up to a 1/2 inch or sometimes even 3/4 of an inch gap, and the machine will not throw wet snow with that gap in there. So if you want to make your machine throw snow way better, all you got to do is install these flaps. And what Buddy did here, I did mine different. Mine's actually welded pieces of metal that I extended with. This is kind of nice because you can get it super tight and then just adjust it as you need to, right? So this system works. It's probably a little more simple if you don't have a welder. Basically, all you need to do is drill a hole through the original impeller and just bolt it up. And you're gonna do that for all on this. In this case, there's 4 impellers, so just do as many as you have, and yeah, that'll make it work way better. Okay, guys, just want to give you another quick little update here. I just want to show you basically what this particular flap was set at. This is way easier if you take the auger system out. You don't have to though. You can do this with this being in the machine. You just take the chute off the bucket, and you can drill and access everything through the hole. So you don't have to do it on the bench. I highly recommend it because it's way freaking easier. But basically, you see this one here is very short, okay? And this other one over here is also, this is better. This is closer to where it needs to be. But this is probably a tad short too. So what I've done is I've taken these out, I've flopped them around, and basically re-drilled them to give me tons and tons of space here, like full fingertips worth here, right? Good 1/2 inch. So what will happen is when we put this into the machine, what I'm hoping is going to happen is this is going to flex, right? Like it's rubber, and it's going to move this way, like the way I'm pointing. It's going to be moving that direction. So it's going to push against here. So what I want it to do, and it will, is it'll face this edge. So if it's a little bit bigger, it's actually better because it'll be a perfect fit. It'll wear itself into exactly where it needs to be. The only thing is if it doesn't fit, I might have to take, like if I can't get it in there, it's absolutely impossible, then I'll take this down a little bit. But again, you want it as tight as possible. So that is going to be a massive improvement to that one there. This one was barely doing anything, so that's going to be an awesome upgrade for this impeller. This already worked really good the way it was, so yeah, it's going to be even better when it's done. Okay, I'm all done with the impeller. I just want to talk about a couple things that I'm noticing that I would have done a little bit different. I'm working with previous engineering and I don't feel like re-engineering the whole thing. But the one thing I'm noticing is how high the screw is actually mounted. I would have tried to strive to center that a little bit better, just so that you have more even pressure holding it. Because you do have, I guess, a bit of a potential for a tear, because you do have that kind of, I mean, it's pretty unlikely it's going to happen, but still. The other nice thing I like actually about the way the guy did this is, the belting material is, you know, there's my thumb tip on it, so I don't know, like a 1/4 inch kind of thing. He used locking hardware, so that's a nylon threaded nut on the back, and then you know, a washer and everything. I think this is 1/4 inch from what it looks like. So again, this one mod here, just doing this to your snowblower, is going to make it huck snow so much better you don't even know. You'll be blown away by it, really. It's way better. So especially the wet snow is where it really starts to kick ass. So if you want to turbocharge your snowblowers, nice and simple, this is all you got to do. Just make a couple little rubber pieces to extend that, get rid of that factory gap, it'll be sweet.